Welcome to the Sacred Magic Show. Bring in the mystical and the sacred for healing with my good friend, Dr. Georgia Herrera, and myself, Dr. Sharon Martin, on transformationtalkradio.com. In this live call-in show, you will witness the shifting of energies that bring about your transformation beyond your wildest dreams. Feel the answers to your most important questions flow into your heart as it opens to a new world of possibility. Together, Dr. Georgia, coming from the heavenly and angelic realms, and myself, Dr. Sharon, coming in from the deep realms of the earth, create an unstoppable powerhouse of sacred magic that has the power to enliven, activate, shift, transmute, and transform the challenges ever present in your life. You are now entering the hub for love and acceptance. The Sacred Magic Show starts now. Good morning, everybody. We are Sacred Magic. I'm Dr. Sharon. I'm here with Dr. Georgia, and we're in a new time slot. So that means we come in at the West Coast on drive time. So if you're waking up, you're drinking your coffee, maybe you're in traffic. I hope you're not in traffic. You can hook up with us. If you're home and you're working remotely and you don't have any work to do, you want to just get on Facebook under Transformation Talk Radio. We are live. I have a bug flying around here. And we will take your comments. So Georgia, tell everybody what it is, who you are, and what it is we do.
Well, I'm Dr. Georgia Herrera. I am in Roswell, Georgia. I practice network spinal analysis for the evening times and some mornings. And then all the other times I do life coaching, and that's very magical. It's very spiritual. It's very connected, relationships and everything you can think about for improving your life. And when Sharon and I come together, it is a powerhouse of manifesting and moving energy and making life feel just magical in every essence, every way.
I love that. So I'm Dr. Sharon Martin, and I'm a physician and I'm a shamanic healer. I actually still practice medicine, but on the side, I like this spiritual energy, magic stuff, because I think this is the realm. These are the vibrations that shift anything. I've seen it shift health. I've seen it shift wealth. I've seen it shift instantly how you feel. So we thought we would come together and give you an hour of a taste of what it is that can happen when you put the spiritual magic in place. So we want you to call in or to comment on Facebook. If you comment, for me anyway, Georgia is much more practiced of an intuitive. I'd like just a little bit of a blurb that I'll tell you shamanically how I do it. I'll track you energetically. But if you just say, hi, I'm Josephine, I want a reading, I don't have a lot to hook on to. So I'd like a little more. If you call in, I love that because I can hear your voice. So that's 800-930-2819. And then Georgia and I put our intuitive mojo together, and we will tell you what we see, we will tell you what we feel, and we will give you our suggestions. And Georgia, we explain to people that this is not the complete story when we do this on the show.
Yeah, this is a few minutes of channeling work and also giving you some practical advice that you might need for improving your life. And to take the sessions further, you can contact us and we'll give you our contact information. Mine's sacredmotherhealing.com. And you can contact Sharon, Doctor, what would you say?
DrSharonMartin.com. That's DrSharonMartin.com. because this is just a taste. Although it is effective, it's not the in-depth work that some people might need or want. So we're here to show you the power. And then if you want to take it further, of course, work with us separately down the road. But Georgia, tell us why we called this sacred magic.
Well, when we make our life sacred, there's meaning, there's mission in life, there's passion, there's joy in connecting with the items in our life, with the people in our life, and even situations. And magic, that's the vibration of Holy Spirit. That's the vibration of tingles, the vibration of fresh, vibrant energy. And when you bring that together, it just makes life more fun and more vibrant. And so Sharon, for example, today's our first day to talk on the radio early in the morning for drivers, for people starting their day. And it just so happens we are on the equinox week right here and talking about magic without looking at the calendar, of realizing that we are in the autumn equinox right now. And synchronicities happen constantly when you turn your life sacred and when you work with the sacred magical energy. And you get gifts and presents all day long. And that makes life extremely fulfilling. What about you, Dr. Sharon? What would you say about sacred magic?
I've been studying shamanism and energy medicine for some time now. And one of my teachers is actually a very deep mystical seer who understands the structure of the universe. And I'm not kidding when I tell you that. But we have classes with her to understand the forces of magic. And these are actually literally universal forces, currents of energy. And that out in the universe, in the galaxy, these were the movers and shakers. Because when the magical currents kick in, then 1 + 1 becomes 3, because there's alchemy and things can become much more than they look on the surface. So what I like about this, and that sounds a little bit, I don't know, esoteric, but when I bring it home to how does that help me in my life? When you bring in, and as Georgia said, you bring in the sacred in your life, you're bringing in that highest, most expanded vibration. And when you do that, you allow your dense human, we're contracted energies, we're dense, we've materialized. When you bring that in, it allows expansion and allows things to change. And what I love about that is, how do we help you change something that's not working in your life? So Dr. Georgia and I love to provide you with that little tweak. And when we offer you our words, remember we have energy behind it. And then hook you up to allowing that current of energy, that download, that pouring in of the magical, sacred, spiritual energy, and watch what happens. And Georgia, we've seen amazing shifts, haven't we?
Oh, in our daily jobs and on the radio show, it's constant. Everywhere we go to serve. And I've heard many stories from you of how you use sacred magic as a medical doctor throughout the day, and how it increases your ability to do your job and to connect with people. And I do that throughout the day, just even knowing how to drive or which direction to take when you're taking a left or a right turn with driving, or how to bring presence of love to people when you're in the car, how to be a blessing, how to relax in the car and bless all the people around us. When you do that, that is magic. And that makes life a lot more fun. And it makes waiting a lot easier as well, because there's always something to do. Everything can get blessed even more. And especially when you're talking to people, the one-on-one, every single thought you have makes a difference. Every single thought. So when you are at your job and you're speaking to somebody, if you're sitting there thinking, oh, this person's ugly, oh, this person has a hair out of place, or oh, they're prettier than me, all those things actually chip away at you and the person you're talking to. But when you bring in the vibration of love, you are bringing in magic to that person. You're going to brighten their day, and you're going to feel brighter as well. And that's just a simple exercise that we can all do. Dr. Sharon, what kind of exercises do you do in your day to bring in sacred magic?
Well, I was going to tell you one story about how I use magic as a medical doctor, but what some of the rituals I do is I have a bottle of rose spray, of organic Bulgarian rose spray. Rose is a very high vibrating oil, and so that lifts me because I start thinking of my connections to Mother Mary, Master Jesus, the angels, and all of that. But how does a medical doctor use this kind of thing? Well, you're in a clinic and you're crunched and you're going, every 15 minutes, it's another person. The very minimum, somebody comes and they have something scary on their chest x-ray, and it looks like this could be really bad. As soon as you start thinking of something bigger, something that, or should I say, expanding your possibilities outside of the, oh my gosh, this looks horrible, and you're staying on that one track, seeing the possibilities, seeing that it can be something else, and just using those words when you talk to the person, that you're not condemning them to go down this bad line. That's what sacred magic does for me, because I'm always making sure that the words I say don't lock something in to the bad outcome. And it may turn out bad, but if you consider it bigger and you consider the possibilities, perhaps even if it does stay on that bad outcome, it turns out not as bad, or the person gets through it with less suffering. And that's kind of what it's all about. We want you to call in 1-800-930-2819, or if you're home, get on Facebook, comment on Facebook/Transformation Talk Radio. We're running live there, so you can put your comment in. The producers will get it back to us. And we're going to go ahead and take a short break here. You think about calling in, because we're here to help you. We'll be back in a minute. Hi, everybody. We're back. I'm Dr. Sharon with Dr. Georgia. We are Sacred Magic. At least that's the space we want to present and hold for you. We are taking callers, 1-800-930-2819, or put in your request when you comment on our live stream on Facebook on Transformation Talk Radio. So George and I were talking, how do we help serve your day? How do we give you that vortex of good energies to wrap around you? I'm remembering the Irish poet John O'Donoghue, and wrapping that cloak around you. We want a short prayer for you. And again, we really want you to call in, because we've got a lot we can help you with. So, Georgia, how about a prayer for people to wrap themselves up in?
Absolutely. So if this prayer is for you, connect inside your heart. Bring your breath inside your heart and feel your system becoming lighter. Feel your energy become a little bit sparkly. Connect into your highest self. Let your vibration raise up. And wherever you have heaviness, where you have any intensity, intense feelings, take a big, big breath in that area and feel your body just let go of that heaviness. You're creating space by exhaling, by releasing. And breathe in that fresh light, that fresh energy, new hope, new faith, new potential. And bring in the equinox energy, bring in the magic, the power of this time. Bring inside of you your highest potential. Let your heart become beautiful and pink. Let all the crust and the wounds just fall away in your heart and open, and let the sun in your heart, let the moon in your heart, let your holy divine masters in your heart space to bless your day. So you are a blessing everywhere you go and everything you touch. Let this move in your spine. Let it move in your whole body. So you feel fresh, you feel new. You bring in the vibration of miracles where there was no solution. You open and you bring in the vibration of clarity and you shake off any heaviness. Let this prayer come up in your body and then shake off any heaviness, any worries, any stress. So you feel centered, you feel calm, and you're connected into the energy of your greatest joy, gratitude, and happiness. And you connect into those lines and you follow those lines throughout the day. Thank you. Thank you. In Jesus' name, amen. Oh, so that is a prayer that you can do anytime. And in session, I can do it personally for you, but we can also do that as a whole for the world, where it's nice in general when you're praying for the world. You're not praying for a specific outcome. When you pray for happiness and joy and gratitude, you open the possibilities for things to work out and for people to be their best selves. So it's important to not put our opinions on other things and other people because we're so limited. And you can tell when you're doing that, when you feel heavy, when it feels thick, and when you let the Holy Spirit run through you, it feels light, it feels expansive, it feels opening, and you can hold space for other people and yourself and see things in a new light. Even difficult situations, all of a sudden you can start seeing insights or seeing the good or seeing how this is helping you peel off layers that you no longer need. And doing these kind of prayers throughout the day is really powerful. You know, I'm just getting settled into my new house. And sometimes I walk into a room and there's so much to do in one room. And immediately the first thing I do is I tap in and I connect into my higher self and let the divine love, and that can be specific being, specific energy. It can be what you need it to be. But when you do that, you bring in magic into your project. I even do that even with my cleaning, with my organization. It's extremely helpful. Dr. Sharon, how do you do this?
Well, it sounds and looks like we actually lost Doc Martin, so we're trying to get her back there, Dr. Herrera.
Okay.
So if you want to
Well,
continue on, that'd be great. And we have a break in a couple minutes too, so it's up to you.
okay. Oh, well, I'll keep going until
Sure.
you tell me to go on break.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I could talk about bringing in sacred magic into our life just nonstop. There's so much to do. One of my favorite small ways to do the magic is with brushing my teeth or putting on lotion. Every single tooth connects into a different organ in our body, and different organs connect into different feelings. So bringing consciousness to each tooth as you're brushing it and you're cleaning the energy. You get to hold that vibration of cleaning your organs as well and cleaning out your feelings. And you're bringing consciousness. And when you do that, you do clean your energy. You do shift your vibration. And that helps heal the body. And that also brings a joy to what you're doing as well. Versus when you're just there scrubbing and maybe even having the energy of, dirty, gross food, ew, you're actually hurting yourself. And it's the same as cleaning your house, cleaning your car. When you clean off the old, you're cleaning out the old dirt. Instead of thinking of, oh, I'm cleaning dirt, you're cleaning it out to create space so magical light can move into what you just cleaned. And you can feel it when you go to somebody's house or their car or the way they take care of their clothes. There's a freshness, a shininess in their space when you walk in. And you can do this. You can do this today. You can do this with what you're touching right now. You have that power with you at all times.
Sounds perfect. How about this? Let's take a break here at the bottom of the hour with you two, and actually we'll try to get Doc Martin back on the phone. So yeah, we're listening to Sacred Magic. Yeah, on Transformation Talk Radio Network. We'll be right back with more. And we're back, ladies.
Hi, everybody. So let's just take a little short minute to talk about the trouble with infrastructure in the United States. Anyway, I live rurally, and literally my best download speed is 2 megabytes, and sometimes I lose everything, internet and cell signal. So I'm out in the backyard because that's where I can get the best cell signal. But anyway, Dr. Georgia, thank you for carrying the weight.
Oh, such a joy. As I was sitting here thinking, I'm used to talking with you on the break, but it gave me some time to think about what to tell people and how to bring magic during the equinox. And we also have Mercury in retrograde right now. A lot of people think that's a bad time, but it's actually an amazing time. So I wanted to talk about that to help you enjoy this time, to help you relax into this season. If you've noticed with the equinox, you probably have had a lot of intuition come to you lately. You probably have had a lot of insights and knowing and clarity on stuff that you've been thinking about. So this is a good time to journal and take note and write down all these things that have come to you, because this is very real to validate that this is happening. You are getting these insights. And if you spend some time and be quiet, you're going to get even more insights. All you have to do is ask questions and connect into a higher vibration. And you just do that by feeling what feels light compared to what feels heavy. For example, our thoughts are kind of heavy, our issues and too many emotions and feelings are heavy. So when it feels brilliant and it feels loving, that's when you're connecting into the sacred realm. That's where you're going to get the greatest insights. So just doing it with sitting or just throughout your daily life. And you can ask questions all the time, when you're in your daily life. If you're grocery shopping, you can ask, connect in, is this apple good for me? Or are these crackers good for me? That's an amazing way to practice your magic throughout the day. Dr. Sharon, you like to use stones throughout the day too. What kind of examples do you have with that?
Well, one thing I was thinking when you said connecting into the apple was that's what naturopaths and chiropractors often do with kinesthetic testing, is if your muscles stay strong, then your body is in alignment and that substance is good for you, as opposed to if you go weak. But I love stones. I love the connection to the earth. I love connection to the millions of years that they've been around. And when I hang on to them, that's my portal to intuition. So I love to pick one up and sort of ask it, sort of as a way of tapping in, is this a good thing? What do I do next? And that's where I get my messages.
I feel the stones really help enhance messages. And some people are more feelers. Some people are not. If you're not a feeler, you can just use it as color therapy. Even that helps. But if you keep practicing, eventually everyone will feel something. But it's just more natural for some people than others. And that's normal. That's fine. Don't worry about that.
And I think what you
go on.
George, I think what you said, it's best to move to the feeling realm when you leave inside. Because if you're in your head, you can talk yourself in and out of anything.
You nailed it. Yes, that's so important. But on Thursday is the actual equinox, but you can do ceremonies any night. And if you want to make your life magical, ceremonies is the way to go. You can go to ceremonies, moon groups, these kind of things, yoga places, meditation centers, or you can just gather a couple of friends together. And it's all about intention. It's all about what you want to bring. So you can make it up. You don't have to follow a guideline. Sometimes when you make it up, it's even better because it's more personal. And when it's more personal, it's going to be more magical. So there's also stuff you can look up online as well to get ideas. So I'll give you guys a few ideas. Of course, candles are always great because that fire energy brings in a cleanliness, and it makes things very special. And that's what we've been talking about, is how to make your life special. And we do that on this radio show. So please keep listening to our shows so you're going to learn how to feel more special throughout your life. But also we can do that in the individual sessions to personalize it for you, myself and Dr. Sharon. So for example, a candle, you can pick a different color of candle for different meanings. Or if you just have one color, cream or white candles, you stick with that color and you put the intention into your candle. Just like we were saying with putting intention to brushing your teeth, you put it into the candle when you light it. There are tea ceremonies where all they're doing is making a cup of green tea, right? But they do every single step with intention, and they do it slow with mindfulness, and that itself turns it magical. They connect into their higher selves. And what about stones? What kind of stones are you feeling for this particular season, Dr. Sharon?
May I tell a story about candles?
Yeah. Oh, please.
So I love to travel to Guatemala and central Mexico, and they have a lot of ruins there. And I visited a ruin there at Ishimche, and there's a big rock pile, sort of a mountain, a big pile, and inside were little openings where on the ledge of the stone people had put candles, and in those cultures they sell bundles of small colored tapers. So they're about 4 inches high, maybe the size of a pencil, and there's maybe 6 or 8 colors. And each color signifies something different. So the black, as you can imagine, is you want to get rid of something that doesn't work in your life. The red, if you want to bring love in. The green, if you want more money and abundance. But I went there and I sat at this place where people had prayed for hundreds of years. And I took out the little bundle of candles, and you know how you melt the bottom of the candle and then you can make it stick standing up. And just one at a time, stuck the candle on the stone and then lit it, said a little prayer for that energy of that color of the candle. And I did that that was the most beautiful experience. And that simple, that in and of itself is a ritual. And you can buy colored tapers, small ones, online. You can always visit the highlands of Guatemala. That's a fun thing. But just doing that connects you in because, as Dr. Georgia said, you have the intention to make that moment that you're working, to make that moment a sacred moment. And that's what's so beautiful.
Oh, that is really magical.
So, Georgia, should we take a short break, and then when we come back, we can talk about the stones for the season?
I love that. Great idea. Welcome to Sacred Magic with Dr. Georgia Herrera and Dr. Sharon Martin. We are talking about making your life more magical, more meaningful, and more fun. We're going to talk about the stones that you can use for this season, how to get the most out of Mercury retrograde and the autumn equinox. There's a lot you can do. And Dr. Sharon went into contemplation for the best stones for you. And I will add in my 2 cents whenever that comes up. Dr. Sharon, please tell us about this season and how we should make the most out of it.
Well, you know, I love stones. And when I think we're kind of starting to wind down. It's the harvest time. The fall brings out the changing leaves, the colors. And so I immediately am drawn to the oranges. So the carnelian, the citrine, which is more of a yellow, pumpkin obsidian, or the earth tone stones that kind of help you ground and hold your space over the winter. I personally love petrified wood, and I love a stone that not many people have heard of called bronzite, which is just a very grounding and protecting stone. But Dr. George, I think in all of those, which are very, for me, centering and lower chakra stones, one of the things that just came to my mind, and you tell me what you think, is I just saw a flash of purple. And so probably I would also throw in a charoite or sugalite or lepidolite or amethyst. What do you think, Dr. Georgia?
Oh, absolutely. And all the stones you talked about are all about going internal. And that's what we're getting ready for. We're preparing ourselves for the season. It's going to be a slower season versus the summer is very fast. It's quick and it's yellow and white and bright and shiny. Autumn is cozy. And it's cozy inside yourself, cozy in your house, cozy with the leaves changing if you have that in your state. And when you bring in that purple, you're bringing in the higher intuition, the higher connected knowing as well with these deep colors. And it's like the petrified wood, that's a very slow vibration. It's very calming. It's very soothing. You know, the same with the food. You know, we eat the autumn foods, the more potatoes, more onions, and of course, pumpkin and everything now. I love that pumpkin is so popular now. It's so nutritious and it's also a grounding. And anything that grows in the ground is grounding. And using your stones to ground and connect and center is going to help you move into the spirit. And you can do that with the colors in your house and the colors you wear. And a lot of times we are drawn to these things, but we don't know why. But if you tap into it, you're tapping into the different chakras and centers inside yourself. Dr. Sharon, what would you add to that?
I was thinking about purple, and that's the violet ray, and that's the angelic realm. So those are the downloads of spirit. And as you enter the fall, you might be thinking about projects that you'll do over the winter when you're perhaps not as outdoors, you're not as active. And this is a good way to bring in writing or drawing because you get the purple download of the higher ascended masters and bring that to your project. So maybe you are planning a house remodeling. So you do up the drawings and the thinking of the colors that you want and the changes you're going to do when you do it in the spring. So those are a good way to bring in the connection to spirit, is purple stones, obviously crystal, clear crystal, quartz. Georgia, what else have you thought of?
And I just want to go off of that choosing colors, because I do think a lot of people will make the mistake of finding their favorite colors for that particular season. And they later on in a different season might regret it. So it's important to think about who you are as a person when you're choosing colors, like, you know, to paint your house or change your wardrobe, to tap into who you are with your internal colors. So you have that throughout the season. And it's also very easy to keep your house pretty simple with the colors, like a white background, tan background. And if you like to change colors a lot, you can just change, you know, the pillows, change the blankets to keep it simple. You don't have to get stuck with one color palette. And color is vibration, and you are affecting your life with the different colors out there. So I know that was a little bit on a tangent, but that's something that I want people to think about.
Yeah, and I'm going to tangent a little here too. You mentioned pumpkin, and it made me think about diet choices. And I struggle here with helping people pick better diet choices because, first of all, there are not very many grocery stores, and what they carry is not what you would find in a bigger city or urban area. And literally, I have people who don't eat anything green. And I have people who are literally meat and potatoes, and that's it. And so when I thought about pumpkin, just getting those root vegetables that you are now getting for the fall and cooking up the acorn squash and making a butternut squash soup, which is really easy to do. Those are the kinds of things that I try to tell people, you want to eat it the way God made it. So that's not a box of mac and cheese. That's something that's actually grown, on a bush, in the ground, on a tree. So that's something to think about, that literally what you eat does change how you feel physically and emotionally. And coming into the winter season, those root vegetables and squashes are so good for you.
Absolutely. And I was thinking about, connecting into the season, get out in nature. I went to Dahlonega, North Georgia, and I was in the mountains on Sunday. The vibration was so intense. When you're in that deep forest energy, you're being blessed, you're being healed. And that is one of the most powerful, magical things you can do. But to find out more how we can help you individualize the magic exercises that are personal to you, you can contact us. For me, you contact me at sacredmotherhealing.com and you'll find all about me. And Dr. Sharon, how do people contact you?
Get on my website at drsharonmartin.com. That's drsharonmartin.com. And you can email me from there and see what it is I do. And we're in the job of serving you. How do we help you get the best life possible, whether it's health or daily activities or facing a challenge or a project you want to do, about deepening your intuition. That's what we do. Georgia as a chiropractor and network spinal analysis guru and an incredible intuitive, and I as a physician and a shamanic healer. So we really are here to serve you. And just apologies for my lousy rural internet and that I had to be just on the phone. But we're going to be running this show every month, and it's going to be the new West Coast drive time slot. So we want you to call in 800-930-2819. Georgia, anything to end us with?
Well, pay attention to the next show, guys, because the next show is Halloween. And that's another powerful energy. And enjoy your pumpkins and look up the meaning of pumpkins. Find meaning in your life. And I can't wait to talk to you.
And Halloween, we just to finish up, we're on the equinox, and this is a place of magical changes in the rotation of the earth and the other galactic elements. And that's when the veils can thin and spirit can really be present. And next time we have a show, we'll be coming up on Halloween. Same thing. So that's what we do. We're Sacred Magic. We have loved being here with you today. Thank you, Dr. Georgia. Thank you, Benny. Thank you, Jacob. I'm Dr. Sharon, and we'll be back in a month.
Thank you for listening to the Sacred Magic Show, bringing in the mystical and sacred for healing with myself, Dr. Georgia Herrera, and my friend, Dr. Sharon Martin, airing every third Wednesday at 7 a.m. Pacific. Come back and continue to witness Dr. Georgia, myself, and Dr. Sharon as we shift energy to bring about transformations beyond your wildest dreams. Tap into the magic and sacred nature of angels, plants, colors, stones, and many other energetic vibrations for powerful shifts and healing on TransformationTalkRadio.com.